Dalton here with Can Advisors Weekly Update for January 18th, 2023. Big news out of one of the biggest states, as Texas regulators are now accepting applications for additional medical cannabis dispensary licenses. Texas's Department of Public Safety Regulatory Services Division made the announcement last week, with dispensary licenses under the state's Compassionate Use Program being accepted from now until April 28th at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Applicants will have to complete a CUP 101 form, along with submitting over a dozen plans for operation. Applicants who previously applied in the last round of dispensary licenses will be able to have their $7,356 application fee waived. It's anticipated that only 3 dispensary licenses will be awarded in this licensing round, so this will be an incredibly competitive and exhaustive application submission process. Moving west, very far west, Hawaii lawmakers announced a new cannabis legalization push for 2023. The state is the only West Coast state without an adult use program, and the newly elected pro-reform governor Josh Green has indicated he would sign into law a legalization bill. Hawaii Senate Majority Leader said that examining the state's medical marijuana industry and other potential agricultural revenue streams that will promote diversity within Hawaii's economy will be one of the first priorities of the new legislative session. The state has had a long history of back and forth between governors and state legislators on adult use cannabis, but advocates have said they feel emboldened this year. Say goodbye to warm weather as we swing north to Minnesota, where lawmakers have already introduced a cannabis legalization bill. The 243-page bill is being debated in the House currently and has a good shot at passing given the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party's majority in both chambers. If passed, the bill will decriminalize possession and use of cannabis with some exceptions and begin an expungement program for individuals with past lower-level cannabis convictions. A start date for legal sales has not been included in the bill. Meanwhile, in Virginia, lawmakers are considering bills on allowing cannabis sales and enacting regulations for hemp-derived products like Delta 8 THC and CBD this session. The Senate Majority Leader said it's, quote, weird that it is legal to possess cannabis but not to sell it. Virginia has had its share of confusing cannabis laws, with decriminalization occurring in 2020, while full legalization is anticipated for 2024. Though it's legal to grow up to 4 cannabis plants in your home in Virginia, it's illegal to sell seeds, and it remains illegal to buy cannabis for adult use in a dispensary. It's unclear if Democrats and Republicans in the legislature can make headway on this, let alone convince Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin to sign clarifying legislation. And last but certainly not least, New York. The second adult use cannabis store to open in New York happened this week. The dispensary, Smacked, is having a soft launch for only members of the press yesterday, while the general public can visit and shop this weekend. Located in Greenwich Village, Smacked is a card holder, the first New York dispensaries being opened by either those with past expunged cannabis convictions or select nonprofits. A Cannabis Control Board meeting is expected later this month, which would award more conditional retail dispensary licenses, and the Cannabis Control Board's proposed adult use regulations for further annual licenses remain open for public comment until mid-February. Be ready to submit as soon as the application window opens, which could be as soon as the end of March, just 70 days away. Thank you all so much for joining us this week, and see you next week with Can Advisors Weekly Update.